It's dangerous being a comic these days, if you don't stick to the political script, that is. I'll give you examples. Barry Humphries had his name taken off the Barry Awards for Best Comic at the Melbourne International Comedy Festival for offending the transgender lobby. Chris Lilly had his comedies removed from Netflix for offending race warriors by doing characters in brownface. Monty Python's Terry Gilliam, he had his stage show cancelled because he offended the transgender lobby by recommending a comedy routine by American superstar Dave Chappelle, a stand-up, who really offended transgender activists. And I could go on. And Vince Sorrenti, I think, sure will, because he's been on the comedy circuit for decades. He won the Mo Award for Australia's Best Comic 3 times after getting his first break as a stand-up in New York, and is now preparing his first big public show in a decade in Sydney's State Theatre, and there'll be a national tour after. He's calling it I'm Offended, in protest at the woke cancel culture. Vince Sorrenti joins me now. What a pleasure to talk to you, Vince. The cancel culture. Look, it's no joking matter. Maybe it is. Actually, maybe you'll make it one. What's your problem with it?
We need comedians, Andrew. We need comics. Comics are a very important part of society, and we need to hear what comics have to say. Comics shouldn't be afraid of going into various subject matters. That's why we have comedy, to deal with things that we should be talking about. Like, comedy is not the problem. Comedy is the solution. You know, comedy is so important, Andrew, you shouldn't be allowed to make money out of it. And I can't believe I said that out loud.
OK, I'll remember that when I go to the box office. But Vince, the excuse that we're given for the cancel culture, right, is that, look, this is really all about good manners, you know. We're just here to stop these terrible comics from saying rude things that could, what do they say now? That could cause harm. It used to be cause offence, cause harm. Do you buy that? That they're just, you know, noble souls trying to protect humble people from you?
No one's trying to hurt anyone, Andrew. I mean, not everyone who talks about ethnicity is a racist. Not everyone who talks about gender is a homophobe or a sexist. Not everyone who talks about politics is a Nazi. The Nazis are the ones trying to shut all this talk down. We need to talk about this stuff. I mean, where does it end? I mean, honestly, I was at a bar recently about to do a show. I was waiting to go on stage, and there was this young 20-something barman behind the bar, and he didn't know me from a bar or something. I said, look, I'm the comic, I'm about to go on. He said, oh, comedy. He said, I don't like comedy. I said, you don't like comedy? Like, he's a young guy. They're afraid of comedy. They're afraid of sort of like the problem areas that it can take you. Well, you know, all comedy, oh, no, don't want to go there. When I came off stage, he bounded up and he said, oh, mate, he said, that was hilarious. He said, how long has this been going on? I said, mate, this is what we need to talk about. This is what people need to engage in. I mean, if we're not laughing at stuff, we're not understanding stuff, and it's all the sort of no-go areas, the areas that we're not supposed to talk about are the ones we really need to talk about.